ein kleines Spiel, glaube ich. Klein. Hast du für Stanley Parabel schon mal gespielt? Nein. Bitte passt den Regler so an, dass der Computer gerade noch zu sehen ist. Bitte gib die aktuelle Uhrzeit ein. Okay, wie spät haben wir? 16:33 Uhr. Das ist 4:33 Uhr. Am Nachmittag natürlich, nicht AM. Ja, wir haben nur noch 33. So. Hinweis, Einstellungen zu Barrierenverhalten können über das Hauptmenü vorgenommen werden. Okay. Oh. Das Stanley-Parabel ist von Machen von Superliminal, das Spiel mit den optischen Täuschungen. Ich kenne das Spiel schon. Das ist ein kleines Spiel. Und man kann nicht springen. Man kann nur laufen.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Alter, Mika, halt die Fresse!
Mika? Warum Mika?
Asian Stream. Ah, mit X interagiere ich.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Warum hört man Tastaturengeräusche, wenn man auf Sachen drückt? Oh, oh. Oh. Kann ich aus dem Fenster raus?
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain.
Entspannende Musik.
There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, He was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible.
Entspannende Musik.
And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. You too will become quite unbearable.
Ich weiß, dass im Spiel immer welche Sachen passieren. Also ich meine, du kannst irgendwie eine Stunde lang hier sitzen und auf einmal wird etwas anderes machen. Oder du kriegst auf einmal eine Trophäe oder so. Also dieses Spiel ist komplett voller Scheiße kompakt. Erzähler, gib einfach auf, Erzähler, bitte.
Mika, der dumme Bastard.
Was ist? Junge, das kannst du im Real Life fragen oder schreiben, das kommt nicht hier rein.
Weitergeschrieben.
Alter.
Weitergeschrieben.
Kannst du was am Wochenende machen? Du kannst nicht springen, Trophäe erhalten. Nein, wirklich, wir haben es ausgeschaltet. Oh. Get your first trophy, kriege deine erste Trophäe. Oh, die Musik hat aufgehört.
Warte, ist ja ein Spiel, wo 2 Jahre lang...
Ich gebe dir darauf keine Antwort im Stream.
Ruhig!
Junge.
What the fuck? Alter, du musst dir vorstellen. Ich bin gerade irgendwo random auf einmal Clankrieg.
So Leute, ich hab das Spiel
All of his
gestartet.
co-workers were gone.
Oh.
What could it mean? Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the trophy?
Was für ein
Click a
Trophäe?
door 5 times? Is that all you think a trophy is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks. No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this trophy to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way no matter the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
Schnell.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437. Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so. Now, back to door number 437.
Das ist echt langsam wie zum Spiel. Es gibt auch eine Trophäe, wo man 10 Jahre lang nicht
Let's see.
das Spiel
How
nicht
about you
starten
click
darf.
on, well, I don't know, the copy. All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
Und in der ersten Version, das normale Stanley Parable, muss man das Spiel 5 Jahre lang
Okay,
spielen.
now go climb on employee 419's desk.
5 Jahre lang das Spiel nicht spielen und du hattest eine Trophäe bekommen namens Go Outside.
Yes, this is great. You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
Und da
We've
ist eine Deluxe
almost
Edition.
got it. Now the copy machine, do that one again.
Und auf der alten Deluxe Edition muss man 10 Jahre lang das Spiel nicht starten. Und dann kriegst du die Trophäe Super Go Outside.
Finish it off, Stanley. 5 clicks on door 430.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes!
Yeah.
We did it! Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today.
Das war lustig. Schade, die Türe nicht auf.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay, gehen wir mal zum...
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Nee, ich find's super. Warum leuchtet das so sehr?
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Doch, definitiv. Schau dir diesen Besen an. Oh ja, schauen die an. So.
It was baffling
Epic.
that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA. Are you really still in the broom closet?
Ja.
Standing around doing nothing? Why?
Der Besen
Please
kann
offer
jetzt
me
schön.
some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Ja, dann bist du halt verwirrt. Die Besenkammer ist schön und entspannt.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
Na egal, hallo, ich bin gern hier im Besenraum. Ich meine, hier gibt's einen Besen, sonst würde er nicht
Maybe to
Besenraum
you
heißen.
this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friend, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
Ich mag
Stanley
dieses
was
Spiel.
fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is
Alter.
addicted to drugs and hookers.
Alter! Okay.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead.
Ich bin tot.
You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed in front of your screen. Well, in a situation like this, The responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead.
Okay.
They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway. Ah, second player. It's good to have you on
Spieler
board.
2.
I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you.
Was ist, wenn Spieler 2 auch in die Besenkammer geht?
You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Oh, kein Besenkammer-Ending. Dann müssen wir halt zum
Coming
Chef
to a
hoch.
staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Executive Bathroom. Wow. Da gehe ich rein. To be rich, is it a crime? To commit crimes, isn't it rich? What a life it would be to have to pick just one. Extreme Bathrooms. Time. So geile Hefte. Ach du Scheiße. 4G-Gabel.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course,
2845.
Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Ja, natürlich wusste es nicht. Also.
Detonierentiger, weißt du,
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Das ist ein Portal 2 Knopf. Das Spiel wurde noch mit der Source Engine gemacht von Half-Life, stimmt. Hab ich ja total vergessen.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Gedankenkontrolleanlage, wow.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Facepunch Studio, sein Zeichen ist dort drauf gewesen. So geil. Das ist Facepunch, ja, glaub schon. Gibt bestimmt auch noch ein Portal Easter Egg hier.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
But
here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Oh nein, habe ich was Schlechtes gemacht? Och nee. Musik.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Yeah, Stanley was happy. Muss in 3 Minuten weg.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Ja, jetzt hier. Lass weiter, ja. Schneller!
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nein. Nein, ich hier nicht.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Aua, das hat weh, dass du das sagte. Oh, ein Keycard hier. Boah. Oh mein Gott.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
So Leute, ich bin kurz weg.
Daniel.
Hm?
Gang zu der Amis.
Ja, ciao.
Tschüss.
Wieder. Ich hoffe, der Erzähler hat nichts über mich erzählt. Ach, wisst ihr was? Soll ich mein Eis essen? Bleiben wir hier drin.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Wow. Was für ein enttäuschendes Ende. Komm schon, gib mir den Kaugummi. Und das Eiscreme nur gegessen, damit ich den Kaugummi kriege. Ja, da ist es. Ja. Steinhart. Weiter geht's.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Mal jeden Computer.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Kommen wir nochmal links hoch, aber diesmal im Keller.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to... Oh no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's
Mal
office.
ausprobieren, was passiert, wenn man den Code nicht eingibt. Wir hören mal in die Toilette. Ah, das sprichst du noch gleich, okay. Yes. Oh. Man hat einen Lift. Komm, wir gehen in den Lift. Das heißt auf den Code. Das ist der Controller gerade in den Lift fahren. angekommen. Hm? Okay, wann geht's? Ach, egal. Scheiß Lift.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Absolut, ich kann's nicht wissen.
Two, 845.
Ich glaube, er ist nicht genervt.
But it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Let's go. Was haben wir dort durchgehen? Es ist nur dunkel. Ja, Dunkelheit, okay. Sind wieder mit dem Lift. Und was ist, wenn wir wieder hochgehen mit dem Lift? Lass wieder hochgehen.
Whoops. Nope. Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out. Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow! I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
Ist da noch was? Okay, dann gehe ich wieder.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this? Surely this time Stanley will walk forward into the spooky corridor, won't he? Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
Nice.
Oh my God, it's the boss's office. This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a time out here for a minute while I process this.
Alter. Tier.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No! No, wait! No! I need more time to process.
Nice. Gefällt mir.
All right. I have fully come to terms with it. I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley.
Okay, los geht's.
Of course. Going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
Jetzt etwas? Nee. Oh Mann.
You know what?
Ah doch.
I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley. You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator. But the suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill. Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow? There we go. Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley, it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started. But where's the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises, to have to think and to anticipate and then to marvel at the eventual reveal? This is storytelling, Stanley. What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years, and it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it. This is unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley. Because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know? People look up to you. Which is why... Oh, I didn't know when to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you, so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life. Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better. Oh, good, we're here.
Yeah.
Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere.
Stanley live on stage. World's healthiest human being. All tricks revealed. How we did the pyramids. Live, the guy who went to Mars. Wenn man springen könnte, würde ich da rüberspringen. Aiming for world peace, baby.
Ah, yes, here it is, just through this door.
So gerade ein Ding. World's first sentient machine.
All right, are you ready? I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry, you'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really proud of you, Stanley. Okay, it looks like they're ready for you. Go get them.
Yo! Go! Down. Nein!
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken. No, the orders were still missing. For now.
Wir waren berühmt. Also Stanley war berühmt, nicht?
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Wollte ich auch.
Wow.
Schaut euch an.
Yes.
Wow.
This room.
Ciao.
What a beauty. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Komm, ich gehe jetzt längs.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left. Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down, right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Yes. Nice. Mir gefällt das Spiel.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, Who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted.
Yes?
I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or...
No.
Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Oh. Tut mir leid, ich wollte nicht, dass man das hört, wie ich den Kaugummi wieder mache gerade. Tut mir leid. Nein, ein Labyrinth. Okay, ich benutze die allzeit gute Methode, immer links halten. Den Türen. Wie viele Türen denn noch?
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not? All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Jetzt sind da gar keine Türen, toll.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Also ich habe nichts verpasst.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
What the
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Normalfilm.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
bisschen komisch, oder?
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny.
480.
Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay, now if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office in fact the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Payday 2 Stack! Payday 2 Stack! Payday 2 Stack! Wir haben Payday 2 Stack! Ja! Ich hab ihn gefunden. Bemerkt, ich bin verwirrt.
Wait, cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Okay.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell? Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Oh, Mann, ey.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Yeah.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Oh nein. Oh. Hi Miguel. Willkommen zum Stream.
Oh, no, not you again.
Nein,
Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Oh Mann, ey, warum wieder die scheiß Linie? Ah, sie geht wieder.
Ah, a
Oh
choice.
nein, zwei
We
Türen
get
schon
to
wieder.
make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here.
Okay.
Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere. which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Ja. Das Verwirrungsende.
What's this? The confusion ending.
Ich will das...
You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really... No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you... All of his co-workers were gone.
Ja,
what could it mean?
Das Spiel ist wieder normal.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh ja, das Spiel ist wieder normal. Ja. Oh. Ich kann endlich das Stanley-Parabel weiterspielen wie normal. Oh. Oder auch doch nicht. Doch.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Ja, und? Kann ich hier irgendwie runter, ohne zu sterben? Ist das Stirben überhaupt, wenn man runterfällt?
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
So, das war's mit einem Stanley-Parabel. Ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen. Ciao, Leute.